Hank Green, the creator of VidCon, once said that pretty much everything you watch on YouTube is either directly or indirectly influenced by Ze Frank.
Well, so the first thing is obviously that's very flattering, but also completely full of shit. I'd say that the most exciting thing for me at a very broad level is that I think one of the things that's happening, and I think advertising is a huge part of this, is that we're going through this phase right now, and you guys have experienced this if you've ever, you're like, why is there a bump on my L and it's like autofill's elbow? And you're like, oh my God, there's other hypochondriacs out in the world, like I'm not the only one. But this sense that like any perception you have about the world or any problem that you're having or anything that you think just belongs to your mind is like actually out there in the universe. And that kind of connective tissue, this sort of reawakening of the fact that we're not alone in all these things is probably the single most transformational thing that's happening. And I think of it as humanity getting a chance to fall back in love with itself. I think that you're seeing this kind of battle between two spaces. One is, in a very abstract sense, it's the usage of media where you give yourself over to the media. I get lost in this, right? And so the degree to which you're asked to completely step into some other reality versus having content be fused with your environment, that's the actual differentiation. It's not short form versus long form or anything like that. It's whether the value of the media it can be as a social good, like can be a proxy for conversation, it gets additional value because it was shared from someone, right? Versus this stuff which is totally encapsulated.
You actually said to me, I think we may be focused a little too much right now on the role of content in driving audience. What do you mean by that?
I literally said that?
Yeah, you literally said that.
What we're all interested in this room is reach times impact, right? So whether it be the marketing message that you have and then how many people see it versus like incredibly impactful stuff is very specific. So sharing is like an awesome metric because it combines endorsement with the mode of distribution, but it's only one kind of measurement of impact. And we're all, I think that we're over-indexed on thinking and measuring reach, thinking about and measuring reach, and we're under-indexed on understanding impact.
What are we going to be talking about next year if you're up here? If it's shareability this year, it's impact. Shareability last year, impact this year. We invite you back next year, which is questionable at this point.
Yeah, it should be.
What are we going to be talking about?
I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'll tell you one thing that I'm really jazzed on right now, which is character universes. It's basically like the notion that there's a way of doing development on the editorial side and even in the branded universes where you start with this kind of distributed strategy where you have lots of different characters that can work in scripted and unscripted. There's precedent in it in French television with a show called Peps and Neighbors and things like that. And you use short form to start identifying people that seem to resonate with audiences, that work with each other, and you can ramp those up into these tentpole moments, but then have a feedback loop down. I think it's super exciting, and it's very obvious. It's the basis of what the Mickey Mouse Club was. We're leaning into it heavily. I hope to be able to come back and share with you some like awesome story about that sort of test and learn approach.